I think people have realized that there's something very, very important happening here tonight, and it has to do with their own freedom and that of their families to get information that they have to have. Not that they want, they must have it in order to function in a free society. And they've come out to protest the fact that they're not getting that these days, particularly because of what's happening with media consolidation and big owners, fewer owners, owning and operating more and more of their media outlets. I'm a former broadcaster. I spent my career in news before I became a union official to represent reporters, anchors, and others in their working conditions. But I left the news business specifically because it was no longer meeting its responsibility to the public to deliver the kind of information the public needed. I watched radio and television particularly move away from a public service function to a bottom line function, where we were covering snowstorms and floods and little murders and house fires, but not covering anything that ended in ION, like education, legislation, those kinds of things. But that's what's happening even more so today, and consolidation becomes an extreme issue in that, because as a union representative, we've not only found fewer owners with more stations, but a homogenation of the content. And the content is not serving the public to the extent that it should. And I don't know what is the way out. I don't have the answer to that, but I know it's not consolidation. We're participating on the same level and perhaps to a greater extent than these hearings are. We're here to testify as to how it affects labor unions and the people that work in television broadcasting. It's costing us jobs, and it's costing us opportunities to meet our role to the public. But we're filing those kinds of comments before the FCC in Washington, D.C. We're testifying before congressional committees. We're mobilizing our own membership to try to bring them to an awareness of what's at stake here. And it's not just our jobs at stake, it's our society. Well, there's always the Congress. As Jay Inslee told the group tonight, you have a choice between having free press and a Congress. Take the free press. But the Congress still has the right and the responsibility of making rules. The prerogatives of the FCC have to do with what Congress tells them to do. And I think that if the FCC doesn't respond, you go to your lawmaker. But that's going to require a lot of coordination. But what we're seeing tonight is that kind of coordination by people who are fed up with what they're not getting. So that can turn into a huge power block.